So let's talk about Barcelona and how they're playing. Of course, Barcelona have been really good in the La Liga fixtures. They've had one of the best starts in their La Liga history after a very long time, and it's been going really good for Barcelona. And talking about the Champions League, not really that good. They're currently sitting at 10th, losing just one game. But the recent performances, especially tonight's Bayern versus Barcelona clash was big. I mean, we saw some amazing gameplay from Barcelona. Talking about today's game, Barcelona versus Bayern Munich. Of course, let's talk about the playing 11. Of course, firstly, the first thing that we need to talk about is no one expected Barcelona to win because of the last fixtures that they've had, the 4-0, the 8-2. But I'm telling you, Hansi Flick has revolutionized the way how Barcelona have been playing, and it's amazing, literally amazing. You've never seen Barcelona play the way how they're playing since a long time, since Pep Guardiola. I mean, of course, the last time they did win the Champions League was under Pep Guardiola, but this Barcelona is different. This is the Barcelona that every team should be afraid of. The Madristas, the Munich fans, everyone should be afraid of these guys. I mean, they're amazing. Talking about what their squad is like, they've got Manuel Ter Stegen, who's of course injured for the entire season, won't be playing. So they've got Chesnia, who's a backup goalkeeper, but he didn't get to play tonight. And they had another goalkeeper to play instead of him. We had Martinez as a centre back, Kubirasi, the La Masia protege, really good centre back. They've got a lot of La Masia players like Balde as well, and then Jules Koundé from I think Sevilla, centre back, right back. He did play in tonight's game as well. He was really good. Um, Casedo, he had an assist. I think he did play really well. I think his game was amazing. Pedri amazing as well, subbed off. Pedri with those amazing dribbles, of course, really played well. Both Pedri and Gavi are back from injuries, and Lamine Yamal, I adore this player. He is something special. He could be the next Messi regen. I'm telling you guys, he's something really special. He's a player who can play on the right wing, can sometimes go on the left as well. But last night we saw something very different. All right, so this is how they played. The starting 11 was, of course, as I mentioned, Martinez. We had Kubrasi, Alejandro Balde, Jules Koundé, Casedo, Pedri, Fermin Lopez with 2 assists. The first goal and the last goal was assisted, of course, by him. Lamine Yamal and Rafinha on the wings, and the strikers, Robert Lewandowski, playing against his former team, of course, that is Bayern Munich. So what we did get to see is another one of that 4-2-4 style, as I've been talking about and mentioning in each one of my videos, that this season each and every team is going to be switching to that 4-2-4 position when they're on the defensive back line, or maybe sometimes when going forward, especially for a team like Barcelona that have been playing consistently well this season. They've got their midfielders set up in an area where they could be close to their wingers. That is because Barcelona like to move forward with their ball really quickly. That's how Hansi Flick wants them to play. In the the German style of football, the gegenpressing style, they'll be moving up forward really quickly with the ball, making short passes in the front lines, in the frontal areas of the opposing team. So you'll be seeing Lamine Yamal and Rafinha playing a little bit, towards in the middle, not going wider. And of course, Yamal is someone who likes to be an inside forward, likes to switch in and go deep into the opposing defensive areas. Rafinha is a little bit of the opposite type of player. He's a classic winger, can make those crosses. But we've seen, of course, those are some of the obvious facts stated by a lot of the crucial stat makers and like the pundits. But what we did get to see yesterday was something which is the Premier League has been doing, is that the wingers going into the midfield areas to help cover up the central areas of the pitch so that they could make those short passing lanes through the middle and pass the ball forward to players like Lewandowski. Of course, he's aging, he's not got those factors that he used to have before, but he's definitely a goal threat and a lethal player in the striking position for Barcelona. And he's really, really good. I think he's set up really good under Barcelona. They're going to have another striker in soon. I think Vlahovic is going to be very crucial for Barcelona. They've been linked to Vlahovic. Could be coming into the team, but we're going to have to see, how they're going to be playing. Secondly, Barcelona's injuries have been very concerning. They did have a lot of injuries. They need to, slow down on the type of players that they're playing regularly. Gavi, Pedri, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Dani Olmo, Frankie de Jong. These players need to, really slow down on the number of game time they're getting because it's a lot. Let's have a look at, considering what the games that they've had in these past three games, in these past three matches was Barcelona Bayern. Barcelona Madrid is the next match, which I think I'll talk about that in a second. And the next match is going to be a derby match, Barcelona versus Espanyol, and that's again going to be tough for the Catalonian Giants. But Espanyol, where are they? I think they're in the bottom of bottom half of the league currently sitting, and it's going to be tricky for Barcelona depending on what the injury situation is after the Real Madrid game. But let's face it, to be really honest with you guys, Espanyol, second division team or third division team right now, I don't think they really have a good shot or a good chance against Barcelona. But again, could be tricky depending on, as I said, the injuries. So what I do want to say is that Barcelona have had this struggling injury crisis, as most of the teams like Manchester United, Arsenal, Manchester City have been having. Players like Dani Olmo and Frankie de Jong have been coming in and out of the squad, even Gavi and Pedri as well. But once they do get into that starting 11 and make those consistent run of games, they have that consistent form, which is really, really crucial for these Barcelonian players and really amazing for them. They need to be consistent on the pitch, which they have been, but with consistency comes, the physicality that they've been lacking. That's why they've been getting injured a lot frequently. So Hansi Flick has to look out for the injuries, but they've been really good form-wise and they know what they're doing on the pitch. Of course, talking about the tactics and the formation, gegenpressing style, 4-2-4 formation. On off the ball 4-2-4, and on the ball and on paper it's 4-2-3-1 or the 4-3-3 formation. The key players for Barcelona have been Lewandowski. Not Lewandowski, I'd say it's Lewandowski is more of a goal threat. He's of course a threat. He's like the Haaland for Barcelona. But like the key player who everybody needs to look out for is of course Lamine Yamal and Rafinha. The number one guy is Rafinha. Someone to look out for is going to be Rafinha in the El Clasico, and Rafinha is going to be kick-ass for them. And I think he's going to be scoring plenty of goals for Barcelona and giving out a lot of assists as well. And this El Clasico is going to be really amazing. Talking about the Barcelona and Bayern game, I think Bayern really did play out as a team which didn't really know what to do, because Vincent Kompany, I think he's a very, very, very inexperienced manager. I mean, I don't know what the board were thinking, removing Oliver Kahn, the 1% thing at Germany, at the Bundesliga, where the fans have gotten the 99% of the control of the club. I think removing Oliver Kahn as the CEO or the main heading department for Bayern was a big mistake. They don't really know what they're doing. They don't know what their structure is. They don't know what they're going to be doing as a whole, as a club. So, getting a manager like Vincent Kompany, who's really inexperienced, and the style of play that they're playing is not really good. I'll tell you something. This guy, Yamal Musiala, he's been used as a more of a defensive role rather than attacking midfielder role or in the wings position. He's been dropping deep a lot, which is causing a lot of issues for Bayern Munich, and it's a lot of it's got to do more with the possession type of thing, because Bayern, once they lose the ball, they want to set all their players tracking back, and want to be sitting not be sitting completely deep with a low block, but with a mid block. So players like You know, Musiala, they've been coming from midfield to more defensive areas of the pitch where the centre backs are situated. So even players like Polinia, Goretzka, and Kimmich, they've all been playing a little defensive lately, and players like Alphonso Davies haven't been flourishing that well. They've been doing well, but not that well when they won the Champions League and everything back in 2020. That's because the system or the style of play that they've been switched from. I think the ex-manager Julian Nagelsmann did a really good job. Um, he's the type of manager that I'd want at my club. Personally, at Manchester United, he was really good. I don't know why he got sacked, but Thomas Tuchel also didn't really do a good job. I don't think Vincent Kompany is really going to be doing a good job because he's setting the players at positions like Yamal Musiala at places where they don't want to be or don't need to be, like in the defensive midfield role or the centre back area. He like completely drops back deep. I don't think that's a really good decision, like a really good thing for Bayern when tracking back or moving forward. So basically, when they track back, players like Yamal Musiala, they're completely sitting deep. Once they need to move forward or press, or when they need to counter, players like them, they don't have the space to move up forward and like go forward completely. So Barcelona have been taking advantage of that clearly. When they did have the ball, Barcelona, they used perfect sense of it. They made perfect use of it. Going up forward, making those short, quick passes through Bayern's defense, causing a lot of issues for Bayern. This is where, during the counter areas of the pitch, where, Bayern were completely forward and uh, Barcelona weren't. And they just used all of their players with um, the right profiles that they needed. Like Frankie De Jong, a good passer. Although he didn't start for Barcelona last night, neither did Dani Olmo. I think that was a good decision to rest these players up before the El Clasico. And I'll give my verdict on the El Clasico game as well. I think honestly it's going to be a game which is going to be super super easy for Barcelona, because Real Madrid have not been doing well. Absolutely not. Of course, they did get a win against Dortmund 5-2, which was yesterday. Classic Real Madrid, making the comeback. The Ancelotti, eyebrow, of course, the memes. But, looking at how Real Madrid are playing, they're conceding a lot of goals and a lot of players are out of position. See, like Kylian Mbappe, he's someone who's a striker but prefers to be on the left hand side of the pitch where Vinicius Junior plays. And so I don't really think that the players are up and coming and ready to play in the cohesive manner of football that how they want to play. Players like even Bellingham, who've been playing at the striker role, they're not able to play how like they want to play. It's more of a congested area, the school kids, like how we used to play back in school. Like it's a congested area and there's a lot of players on the pitch, but the pitch is small, so players are congested, and they're playing in a more smaller areas with a lot of players on the pitch, so it's more difficult to connect with the players, pass around the ball, and the team cohesion is lacking for Real Madrid. So I think the short passing method, like how Barcelona have been playing, it's going to be really easy against Real Madrid in the El Clasico. They're going to move up forward, they're going to move really quickly, feisty, and they're going to move really, really quickly against Real Madrid. They're going to use all of their tactics, the good passing units like Frankie De Jong, Dani Olmo, Pedri, Gavi. All of these are going to be really essential and really, really crucial against a team like Real Madrid. If they switch off defensively, it's going to be it for them, really. And I think Barcelona are a team which could go down to win the Champions League, the La Liga, and yes, their cup match as well, which is, I think, forgetting the name what it was, but yeah, I think Barcelona could win the treble easily. Barcelona are really, they're a really really good team which could win the treble, and I think Lamine Yamal is going to be a graphically a very historic player for Barcelona, uh, and he's going to be flourishing there with the system under Hansi Flick, and Hansi Flick is going to revolutionize the way how Barcelona are going to play in the next coming years. And these players like Pedri, Gavi, and the La Masia protege and the products like Kubarasi and everyone, and Victor Roque once he comes back from loan, or if he comes back from loan, they're going to be really crucial, really essential, and they're going to be really, really good for Barcelona. And Barcelona, of course, they need to look out for the injuries, the amount of players, or the way how they're playing, the way how they're structured around. I think they just need to focus on their injuries. They need to rotate the squad a little so that they don't have those many injuries in the squad. Otherwise, they're really doing good. They've been really, really, really good for Hansi Flick. And yeah, I wish the best to Barcelona, and I do hope and pray they win the treble. And I'm going to be supporting Barcelona completely, and I just want them to beat Real Madrid this El Clasico. And I do hope, and I do think they're even going to beat Real Madrid in the El Clasico because of the underlying numbers for Real Madrid. I mean, they're a good scoring unit. Of course, they can score goals and do everything that they want, but as I said before, team cohesion is lacking for Real Madrid because of the positions the players are set up in. And Barcelona are a quick team. They're a really fast team, quick players going up forward, making those short passes. Once they're in the final third of Real Madrid, they won't know what hit them, and they're going to make short and sweet passes, which is going to screw up the Real Madrid defense, which I'm hoping they would. If players like Rudiger or Carvajal don't switch off defensively, Madrid are going to have a hard time. But yeah, I mean, you saw the match against Bayern Munich, and defensively they switched off 4-1 against Bayern Munich. It's a really, really big thing, and it's a really good thing that Barcelona did win this game. And yeah, players to look out for are going to be Lamine Yamal with those inside edge and inside cuts that Lamine Yamal is going to make through the right, and the parts where he's going to switch into the middle and support the midfield, the core midfield of Dani Olmo, Frankie De Jong, Pedri, Gavi, and these players. And it's going to be a short passing unit between these middle players. And as I said before, the 4-2-4 thing, where they make the narrow line, where it's very difficult for teams to make forward runs through the narrow back line or the narrow mid line. So the mid block and the low block is going to be really difficult to break through of Barcelona, and it's just going to be a fascinating game however Barcelona play. And to any football viewers and football watchers out there, I wish for you to watch Barcelona's game closely because of the way how they're playing. Barcelona and Liverpool are the two teams which have completely changed this season, and they're the two teams to look out for this season. And I'd say that yeah, Barcelona is someone to look out for. They're not the dark horse as they were before. I mean, they are the dark horse, but also not because of the way how they're playing. So I just honestly think that Barcelona just need to look out for their players, need to rotate their squad. It just depends. Can't say they're going to win the league because you need to look at what's the agenda, what's the schedule of matches. Like these three games are going to be really crucial for them. The Bayern game, of course, they did win tonight, and Real Madrid, of course, I think it should be a cakewalk for them, but maybe not. We'll have to see. Although I'm supporting Barcelona, of course, and the Spanish game, the derby game, the Spanish derby game between them is going to be really good. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Barcelona, and Barcelona is a really, really good team, and the way how they're setting up, the short quick passes, the smooth 1-2s that they're making, it's really, really good. And I just think overall Barcelona, yeah, again, as I said before plenty of times, need to rotate the squad, keep changing those midfield players because they're the most crucial players along with Rafinha, because Rafinha and Lamine Yamal do come into the midfield. As you did see yesterday, in the first half, we did see Yamal coming from the right into the midfield. In the second half, we did see Rafinha coming from the left into the midfield. So yeah, that's how they're wanting to play. That's how they're going to play against Madrid as well. And that's how they're going to be setting up Lewandowski to score many goals and quick goals. And yeah, that's about it. That's how Barcelona play, and that's how they're going to play. Alright guys, I hope you did enjoy the video, and I hope you do subscribe to the channel and do check out my channel football_fanatic003. That's my Instagram handle, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and that's about it.